Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. My name's Rebecca. If you haven't been here before, welcome. So I am so excited for today's video because it is officially the best time of year again. And I don't mean fall or Halloween. I mean it's officially Only Murders in the Building season again. And if you are new to this channel, you might not know, but I watch and review and kind of dive into detective mode, trying to figure out who the killer is in Hulu's Only Murders in the Building. But if you're not new to this, then welcome back. I am so excited for this season, but before the season officially starts, I wanted to do a little trailer watch and review live here and now. So I have not seen the trailer yet. I've been staying away from most of this stuff, and I am going to watch it, and you're going to get my live reaction and review of it. And then we're going to talk a little bit about how excited I am for the season, and then we're going to say goodbye, and I'll see you guys next week when the first episode officially drops of Season 5 of Hulu's Only Murders in the Building. So, I've explored theories of every season, and this will be no different. So you can expect kind of the same vibe. I have a little bit of a different setup. I do have a microphone here, so hopefully that will be better audio quality for you all. So if you don't want to like sit and chill with us, maybe you'll just put me on the side and you'll listen to me chit chat, almost like podcast vibes. But it's up to you. I'm just happy you're here. So before we get into anything, make sure to hit that like button, subscribe, hit the bell notification, all that good YouTube stuff. It really, really helps out. I am a small creator and I do have a job outside of this, so any little bit of support really helps and lets me like focus all my energy on this, and it just like makes me really happy. So I appreciate anyone who's willing to support and subscribe, like, comment, etc., etc. Anyway, let's get into watching the first trailer of Hulu's Only Murders in the Building. Okay. Let's see.
We're gonna miss you, buddy.
Guys, the police report just came in.
A guy fills a fountain with blood in the most murderous building in New York. They say it's accidental?
So we just assumed murder.
Okay. So obviously we know that Lester has died based on the... Oh, before we get into this, if you haven't watched seasons 1 through 4, do not watch this video because there will be spoilers. Just like the rest of the videos, make sure you're caught up because this is a very openly discussed, spoiler-filled video. If you don't care though, feel free to stick around. So the first thing we see is obviously Lester is dead. He's in a fountain with his own blood around him, and like it looks very suspicious, but apparently according to the trio this is accidental. Now we know that the police in Hulu's Only Murder in the Building have made mistakes before, so obviously we're not going to go off of their opinion in this situation. There have been quite a few times where either the police have been involved in one of the murders going on and are trying to cover it up, or they're just kind of missing like overt big clues. So let's continue.
Lester had a run-in with the mobster the night he died.
I found a finger.
Nobody accidentally slices off their finger.
This is a message.
It's like the horse head.
Okay, obviously we knew the mob was going to be involved in this season because it was some of the call-outs of last season. It was indicating that we were going in this direction. Now, do we think that the mob is going to be like authentically a suspect? Because I just don't know if that's going to make sense. Like, it's so out of left field, and it's so like we don't know anyone, at least as far as we're aware of, from the mob. So I feel like this is going to be like a huge red herring. It's going to be something that is kind of fun for us to experience within the world of Hulu's Only Murders in the Building. But I really think that the killer, at least in my opinion, should be someone that we have already met, because I think that the most fun with these kinds of shows is being able to have a fair shot at guessing who the killer is. And if it's someone in the mob, I just feel like we're not going to get our fair shot. But it's happened before, so I don't know. I'm excited for the season, but like I have such high expectations and hopes for it, so I really hope that we get a fair shot at guessing who the murderer is.
This is a message. It's like the horse head in The Godfather.
I know that one.
They came to you on the night of my wedding.
Yeah, I made him an offer he couldn't decline.
Okay.
We need to go face to face with the mob.
Gentlemen, we've got company. These here are my brothers, Tony, Mikey, Vinny, and Braden.
Braden, right. Suits you.
Something's not adding up. We found 3 of the richest people in the world sniffing around a murder scene.
They're billionaires. This isn't the mob. This is the new mob of New York. Please tell me you recorded that. These people could be killers.
Oh, you got your hands on the body.
That's a felony, right?
I'm sure they went to the authorities immediately.
Is it bad to say my hopes are being dashed as I watch this? Like, they're dropping as we speak. It just seems so mob focused. Like, I knew that the mob was going to be a piece of the next season because of the clues that we were getting from the last season, like with the TV screen, and they were talking about the mob, like it was mentioned, and we know that they don't mention anything unintentionally. So, but now we're going into like Sopranos territory. I will continue to watch this.
You know what? Let's get you some more caviar.
I think there's more caviar.
Absolutely. We definitely have bologna.
We're pretty successful.
Oh my God, hi!
Mayor Tobin in the house.
I'm just getting started.
Tell me more.
Chop, chop.
Let's talk murder. The easiest way to win it is to make your opponent think they're playing a different game entirely.
Did anyone check to see if Lester had all his fingers? I'm gonna work my way in there.
Okay, so obviously last season the murderer was someone that we didn't know from the building or from past seasons, and they worked it in relatively well overall. Obviously, like, the main idea was that we were focusing on them shooting this movie, this Hollywood version of Only Murders, and that was the main focus for quite a few episodes, as well as like those characters being the focus, the big main front of the line, the producers, the writer, the woman who was like the PR person, like the manager. So I feel like that's probably what we're going to get with this season. Like, the first couple of episodes, we're going to go in guns blazing. We're going to look at the mob. We're going to be having like really big, like strong suspects out of the gate coming from this like mob scene that we're going through. But I think we can probably count out anyone obviously we can count out anyone obvious. I think we can count out like anyone that's immediately mentioned in a big way and focused on as being a part of the mob. They're always going to choose someone who is a quieter character, who has more of a backstory, something that we're going to have to delve into and learn more about. So that's my current guess so far. Obviously, it's not really a guess. I'm sure you're all thinking the same thing. But I'm just wondering how this whole mob vibe is going to fit with the rest of the show. We've got, season 1, the podcast beginning, the trio meeting for the first time, and we have the most, like warm and cohesive environment of them just trying to like be local podcasters and crime solvers for their building. And then the second season really focuses on getting their podcast off the ground. Third season is the success for Oliver going to like have a play, and it more focuses on like, I think it's the second season Charles has is back in his TV show. The third season focuses on Oliver and him getting to put his play on and have another Broadway show. And then the fourth season is more focusing on Mabel's growth and her trying to figure out what she's going to be beyond a podcaster, I guess. But it also has the movies. I don't know. I just feel like the other seasons are a little bit better connected. Like, you can see that one season is for Charles's success and one season is for Oliver's success and one season is for Mabel's success, and they have ups and downs. You know, Charles doesn't end up with Joyce. Like, he was going to marry her and then he doesn't. But either way, it's a very clear connection. This mob thing is coming really out of left field for me, so I'm really hoping that they can incorporate it in a way that feels authentic to the show. Like, I want to know what the connections are. Like, if they can bring up connections to the Arconia itself and the building. And, like, maybe that's why there are passageways in it. Maybe there was some sort of, like, smuggling. Or, like, I want there to be history behind what is happening here. Anyway, let's continue.
As we distance ourselves from him.
What are you doing?
Is he touching my husband?
No, he's doing it for Lester.
We're all going to hell. You're hooked up with a suspect.
It was kind of a magical night.
Charles!
Stop slut-shaming me!
All right. Fascinating. So, like, obviously the trailer is a bit of fun. It's a bit of the vibe of the trio. You know, we get the comedic moments of Charles, like, really not knowing how to, like, be around people and, like, doing things in an embarrassing manner. And you've got, you know, the Ollie Mabel moment where Oliver and Mabel are like, yeah, we are not associated with him. You've got, you know, Charles and Oliver trying to use, like, hip slang, with Charles being like, don't slut shame me, and Mabel being like, oh my god, like, come on, man. So, like, I'm not gonna say that it doesn't have potential for the parts of the show that we love, which in my opinion is, like, the chemistry between the actors and the vibe of this trio overall. I always enjoy kind of, like, spending time with them. But at the same time, I am a bit concerned about the direction of going with the mob. And if you guys have watched for a while, you may have heard me mention the possibility of a Moriarty character. And if you don't know what that is a reference to Sherlock Holmes. And in Sherlock Holmes, Moriarty is like the mastermind pulling the strings of all the other crimes and cases that Sherlock is trying to solve. So there have been mentions, I don't know if anyone on the show has mentioned this, but mentions by people who love to watch it being like, I wonder if all the murders are going to tie together, especially if this is going to be the final season, which I'm going to look it up 1 second. Okay, so apparently people have said that the writers and producers have mentioned there being 5 or possibly 6 seasons. I thought that this would maybe be the last season, but it seems like they're willing to keep going as long as we're willing to watch. So that for me really depends. I'm never going to say like, oh, I don't want the show to go on. I'm just not the kind of person who wants a show to continue infinitely just for the sake of like having the cast and characters be around. Like, I want the show to be good. Genuinely, I do. And I'm concerned that if it just keeps going on, that's not going to be the case. And it's going to focus less and less on, like, the writing and the parts of the show that we loved and focus more on, like, bringing in more random celebrity cameos, which, like, are enjoyable in a lot of ways, but also sometimes cheapen the vibe of the show overall. So, did I like the trailer? Yes, I thought it was a bit of fun, but I am a bit nervous to see how this season really plays out. Let me know your thoughts in the comments down below. I am going to be brushing up on my Only Murders knowledge before we get to the first season, or before we get to the first episode of the next season. But I'd love to hear your theories about what you think is going to happen, and your thoughts on like your take on the show. Are you enjoying it? Are you excited? Are you going to keep watching if there's, 6, 7, 8 seasons? Are you expecting a Moriarty character? Like, let me know. I want to hear your thoughts. Anyway, I appreciate you for being here. I love you guys. Sorry that the light just like drastically dipped. I guess it's gonna possibly rain. It's gotten really cloudy outside. But I love you guys, and I will see you next week with our first episode for season 5, a review and just a deep dive into the first episode of season 5 of Hulu's Only Murders in the Building. So I love you guys, and I will see you soon. I'm so glad to be back. Love you. Okay, I will see you next week. Bye.